How's it going, ladies and gents? Back again here with another video. And in this video, what I want to talk to you people about is kind of share a personal story of mine of the time that I got bullied in school and in university. Because as you people know, if there are three things that are still a very big problem today in this world, it is racism, discrimination, and bullying. And all that stuff needs to end. Seriously, it does. And that's why I'm gonna share a personal story of mine and how it kind of affected me. Because as you people know, I don't know where to begin, but it all kind of started back in middle school. Now, let me just say that I never got bullied to the point where I got beaten up. Okay, none of that ever happened. But I will say, though, is that, people in middle school, would just kind of make fun of me on purpose just because I was overweight, And just because I was overweight did not give them the excuse to do that. And it really made me feel very terrible in middle school, and that's why I didn't really like middle school. And in high school, I never got bullied too, but let's just say that there were people that I thought were my friends, but they turned out to be fake and manipulative. So yeah, that's that. And now I'm going to fast forward to the time that I got bullied in college not college, but university, on one day in class. This was back in 2018, like late 2018. And as you people know, 2018 was not a good year. And I still think that 2018 is the worst year ever, mainly because of what I had to go through in January involving one of my best friends, taking their own life. Well, one of my friends took their own life on December 26, 2017, but they were still in the hospital for I think 10 days to 2 weeks, I can't remember. But then in January, in the hospital, the hospital staff, took my friend off of life support because, they did a brain scan on him and and they said that he wasn't, waking up or responding, So that made me feel very terrible because, as you people know, it was bad enough that I had to say goodbye to one of my best friends who took his own life, because one of my best friends, Paul, I knew him for 15 years. And, I knew him since I was 5, and losing somebody that you knew for 15 years is the worst heartbreak ever. Trust me, it is. And if you think that breaking up with your boyfriend or girlfriend is bad, I get it. It's heartbreaking dealing with a breakup. But in the way how I see it, it's even more heartbreaking being forced to say goodbye to one of your best friends, one of your childhood friends that you knew for such a long time. And that just put me in a very depressive state because, the year prior, it was the year and a half prior, back at the beginning. Well, it was 2 years before, in 2016, my grandfather passed away from cancer, and that kind of made me feel very depressed because, as you people know, growing up, I always had a pretty good life. I never went through tough times. I didn't start going through tough times until I was about 18 years old, and when my grandfather passed away from cancer, that made me feel very depressed. But when I found out that my friend, committed suicide and he wasn't going to survive, that made me feel even more depressed. That just made things a whole lot worse for me. And, I'm just not used to handling tough times in life. But recently I've been going through a lot of tough, rough patches in my life. And it's really just mentally affected me. It's just been heartbreaks after heartbreaks, and it sucks. And so where was I? Oh, yeah. So it was on that day in class, I'm not going to mention any names in this video, and I'm not going to mention the school or the class that I was taking for privacy reasons, out of respect for privacy, But let's just say that that day in class was the worst experience I've ever had in university, because what happened was that we were doing this assignment, and I did my part of the work. We were in this group, and I told this person in my group to let me know what they thought about my assignment, if I can make any improvements, blah, 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 blah. And you know what happened? This person, apparently they did not like the way how I did my assignment. Okay, fine, I get that. Let me just make improvements. But you know what they said? They said no. They didn't even let me make any improvements. I was like, what do you mean? We still had a couple of more days to make any changes, but they just said no, and they said they weren't going to include my assignment in the group presentation, and that sucked, because it was not fair. And, the worst part is that after that, they just started saying horrible things to me in class. And that's why I feel like I got bullied on that day in class. And it was not a fun day at all. It sucked. And you don't know how I felt, being the only person to be talked to like that in class was horrible. And I told this other person in my group, but you know what they just said? They just said, that's not my problem. And it's like, all you just did was make the situation 10 times worse, because it's like, if you see somebody being bullied, you're supposed to help that person out and stand up to the bully. You don't just say, oh, that's not my problem, because all you're doing is just making things worse for that person that's being bullied, and you're just being complicit with the bully. Okay, so yeah, you just made things 10 times worse. And of course, and nobody in class, because I don't know if anybody else heard this in class, but the people that were sitting around me just kind of closed their eyes to it and pretend like nothing happened, and that made me feel bad too, because it's like if you see somebody being bullied, you need to just help that person out, because as individuals we're supposed to help other people we're supposed to help other people, not put other people down. You just don't do stuff like that, and I don't understand how anybody can be okay with this, because this is not okay. Okay, bullying needs to stop. Okay, because after that I almost broke down crying in the middle of the class, because it just brought back so many bad memories to the time that I got bullied in school. And it was bad enough that every day in class I had to think about, okay, what happened to my friend, and it was bad enough that I was depressed in class, and going to class every day with depression on my mind. And then just to be bullied like that just made things even way worse for me. So it's like, first of all, people that think this stuff, that are just complicit with this stuff by not saying anything, they need to realize that the more you speak up about against this, the more we can prevent bullying. Because like I said before, a big problem today is bullying, racism, and discrimination. Those are the top three things that we need to work together to end. Okay. And I just did not like the way how I was treated in class, because I would never talk to anybody like that and just like exclude them from the group. Because I wasn't excluded from the group, but after that point, I just felt excluded. I did not feel welcome at all. Okay, that's the best way that I can put it. And yeah, I almost broke down crying in class. It was bad. And yeah, 2018 was just a horrible year for me. I still wish that things were different. I wish that I never had to go through that stuff, but unfortunately, since I went through that terrible stuff, that's why I'm making this video, to let you people know that if you see somebody being bullied, you're supposed to help them out, okay? Because that kind of little it was a minor incident, because nothing happened, nothing serious really happened, other than just me being talked to in just a very horrible tone. And you don't realize that stuff like this can really ruin a person. You don't say any horrible stuff to somebody like that. Okay, I'm not going to mention what this person said, but yeah, they just said horrible stuff, and I just did not like that. So yeah, that was the worst experience I ever had in university, and I hope that nobody ever has to go through anything like that, like how I did. So yeah, ladies and gents, I'm done here with this video. It's been kind of rough these past couple years. I'm trying to I tried. The thing about this stuff is that I tried bottling it up, but unfortunately, it's very hard to bottle up stuff like this, because there were just a bunch of bad things that were just a string of events that happened in my personal life that really had just affected me. Losing my grandfather, losing one of my best friends to suicide, losing my dog. It was just terrible. It was the worst time of my life ever, and I just wish things were different, but unfortunately, reality can be very harsh. So anyways, ladies and gents, if you see somebody being bullied, help that person out, okay? Don't be silent. Silence is one of the worst options in bullying situations, okay? Silence is never the option. What you're supposed to do is take action. You know what they say, if you see something, say something. So yeah, that's why I'm urging you people that if you see somebody being bullied in school, at work, or in college or university, help that person out, okay? Because you have no idea how much your help can mean to them. So anyways, ladies and gents, I'm done with this video here. As you people know, I'm that type of person that's a good person. I've never done anything bad to anybody. And at the end of the day, I just want equality for everybody, regardless of who you are, regardless of where you come from, and regardless of your sexual orientation. I just want equality for everyone. So anyways, hope you people enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and y'all have a good one.